Yeah, so for those of you that, haven't maybe been keeping up on what I'm doing, I'm at Day with Destiny. It's a 6-day event. We're talking, I used to say 12, 13 hours, but that's not true. I was there 14 hours yesterday. So we got out at 2 o'clock in the morning last night. And even our driver, and this is a common question with a lot of people, a lot of Uber drivers, they're like, why does he go so late? And why does he, why do you have an event? What do you talk about at, up to 2 o'clock in the morning? And all I can say is you got to be there to know.
What would happen if you knew you were not only more than enough, but that everything in your life has been guided? What if everything in life, every single moment, the pain and the problems, the opportunities, the love, the joy, what if all of it was divine timing? Time for the journey to begin.
Date with Destiny is a life-changing experience. It's a total immersion, completely exhausting and pushing you physically, emotionally. But because of that, you grow so much, so fast, that you literally don't recognize the person you were the first day to the last day.
Problems are what make us grow. Problems are what sculpt our soul. Problems are what make us become more. If we can realize that life is always happening for us, not to us, game over, all the pain and suffering disappears.
This week is without a doubt the most amazing experience of my life because I'm shaping my future.
I know for me, most of it really came from wanting to have more passion, wanting to have more desire. So what better than Date with Destiny? Because we know that our destiny is so much greater than what we're seeing. So it was really a chance for us to really dive in and really get down to the core of what it is.
It's the most transformative experience you will ever engage yourself in.
Beyond your wildest expectation.
And I remember looking in the mirror this morning and really liking the woman I saw in the mirror for the first time in a really long time. It was awesome.
This is why we came together. To both see, witness, feel, experience, and more importantly, lead by example within ourselves, where love is all that matters. Love is the ultimate filter. Love is the guide to a decision where destiny is magnificent.
But again, the essence of what Anthony's all about is the psychology of living, the psychology of relationships, the psychology of success. That's what he's strong in. And going to network marketing events, though I go to them, right? That's all about skill sets mostly and ideas to help you with your business. But if you're still wired wrong, if you're programmed wrong, it's not going to matter. You're not going to get results. That's why these kind of events are imperative. They're so important to be at. Now, I came to appreciate that. I was like thinking about this yesterday. I was like, why have I not been going sooner? I met 2 men in the line yesterday at the coffee line. The coffee line I was in, and they're what we call lions. Now, Anthony has 2 elite groups. And that's the Platinum group and the Lions group. The Lions are the ones that he chooses among the Platinums if they fit the kind of culture that he expects. In other words, they don't come in with some ego and I'm so great and I'm so powerful and I'm so freaking rich, therefore I'm special, you need to listen to me. Those kind of people are not going to be selected. So it takes time to get to know people. And so I happen to be in line, and there's not that many lines. There's like 300 platinums, and a small percentage of that is lions. I mean, those kind of individuals, Anthony will fly to his house, but he has dealings with all the platinums. So, you know, he wants to get to know them. Are they a good fit for what he's all about, and an example of what he teaches? So anyway, I was talking to these guys, and they were so humble. Now, these are successful people, very successful people, because to be, for example, to be in the platinum group, it's $85,000. So I'm going to join today. The funny thing is, the top pin in my company, and I told that to these guys, I said, is platinum. So to be in the platinum group is, there's great value from it. For example, Anthony has 4 events that he does. Tony Robbins does 4 events a year just for the platinums. One of those events is just an adventure trip. One time he literally rented out a pyramid in Egypt. I mean, that was it. He owned it, and he brought the platinums to the into Egypt and into the pyramid. And anyway, but he gives special coaching for the platinums and the lions, and they get the same information, everything, in terms of where the world's going. I remember one meeting he had. This was over 10 years ago. If some of you remember, was it? Anyway, 10 years ago, when the stock market just bottomed out, the housing market bottomed out, and he had a special meeting with the lions and the platinums. He called a special meeting. They flew out to wherever it was, and he told them to get out, that it's going to crash. And sure enough, just shortly after that, after they did that, if they made that move, and why would they do that? Because they're going to buy back in, but my gosh, it's going to be pennies on the dollar, right? And that they'll have to spend, and they'll quadruple their wealth. And so that's what they did, and it turned out just like he said it was. So anyway, but it's not just, it's a lot of things that he counsels on, coaches on. Yesterday was all about relationships. Now, networkers wouldn't see that was important, right? I mean, that's all this business is. As a matter of fact, these two guys that are in the Lions group that I talked to, they asked me, just humble guys. And one of the Lions said to me, well, what do you do? And I told him, I said, network marketing. And he says, okay. And again, these are accomplished businessmen. And then as we were talking, he said, I'd like to know more about you and your company. So please, get some information to me. And I said, okay. I'm going to tell you, some of the best people you could ever sponsor are at these events, which is another reason to be here. Because who would pay almost $5,000 to be at a Date with Destiny event, or some of the other events that he does? There's like 7 or 8 on specific subjects. Date with Destiny is his favorite, but Unleash the Power Within is another biggie, but that's a $1,000 ticket. Now, that in California, I think in March one's coming up. I think in Chicago, it's either June or July. You can go to the website. Hey, Adrina, I am in West Palm Beach. And so you can look those events up, but we're talking about it, but when you know that people are going to spend money to be at these events, what kind of person would that be? You think that might be a person that's interested in improving their life, improving their future, improving their finances? You think they would be interested in success? Absolutely, I'm telling you. And so I've met many people as I'm talking to them, and I share my story, and that's why I titled this video "Your Story." I don't have a better story than you. I just have a story. You have a story. Maybe the difference between me and you is yours is not rehearsed yet. So when I talk to people about my story, then I'll say, hey, are you in Facebook? I mean, you've heard me say this many times, guys, right? When you're around people, get off your damn phone and just and connect with these people. And then, are you in Facebook? Yeah, I'm in Facebook. Okay, fine. Then add them to your phone. That's what to your Facebook account. I'm not awake yet. I'm still waking up. Add them to your Facebook account. Say, hey, let's add one another and we'll stay in touch. It's one of the greatest things. So when you leave in an event, you've added 10, 15, 20 people maybe to your page that you can connect with now. Reach out, say, hey, I really enjoyed our conversation at that event, at Tony's event. That was awesome. So, and you can say, hey, how are you going to apply some of the things that you learned? Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply this, that. Let's stay in touch and let's talk about how this is working for us. And in the meantime, are you open to other income opportunities? If not, that's cool. Yeah, I'm open. Okay, yeah, sure, I'm open. Okay, sure. Hey, let me send you a link. It's about what I do. It could be a side gig for you, side income. It's not meant to get you off track, whatever you got planned. I talked to one couple. I mentioned this the other day. He's in corporate and she's a doctor. And they asked me, these people are very serious. They flew all the way from Saudi Arabia to be at this event. Well, and the way you handle skeptics is be evasive. I don't get into all the details about what I do. What I do is I talk about the results it gives. When I talk to people. So, for example, when someone asked me, and an Uber driver did, and I know his level of network marketing is probably going to be zero. Hey, Mindy, zero. And he asked, what do you do? Then some of you heard my Forrest Gump approach, Some of you might remember that movie, Hey, well, it was like this. What I do is it was something I sort of fell into. I used a product, liked a product, found out I could save money if I became a member. Then they told me if I introduce it to somebody that when they order, I get paid, and that'll equal out in the beginning what I'm paying out on my own, and then it'll actually even grow from there. And anybody they introduce it to, I'll get paid on those people as well. I said, okay, thanks. And so I introduced it to 72 people. And since that time, for the last 27 years, I've been living on residual income. Never needed a job. Wake up every day and I own my life. See, I'm not saying network marketing. I'm not saying my company. I'm not talking about my product. Now, if they want to get into that, that's fine. I want to talk about the concept. I don't want to talk about the facts. The facts distract. And then they get judgmental sometimes. Yes, Andrea. Yeah, so that's the way to do it. Anyway, so going back, so I would add, so like I said, when I'm at the event, I'm adding people to my Facebook page that later I'm going to get back to. And since Mindy's on the call, because she's involved in the Tony Robbins events, like I said earlier, I was standing in a coffee line, so one of the lions asked me, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm involved in a network marketing company. And he said, yeah, started asking me some good questions. He said, well, send me some information. I'm interested. It's just that easy. So again, what I love about these events is the kind of people that it attracts, the culture behind it, the energy, the music. Oh my gosh. I don't know how much time people spend when the music is pumping and Tony says, let me hear you. Or, and people just get up and man, they're dancing and going crazy. And I'm like, oh, they didn't come here to dance. They came here to have a breakthrough. So let's go back to your story. So when it comes to people, good morning, Elizabeth. You need to have a story. Now, your story can evolve, it can change, that, it's not permanent, right? But, it's just some of the things in your story to a person needs to be, this is what my life was. What I didn't have in my life was, And then I found something that changed it. Those are the three aspects to the story, your story. Now, tonight, write it down. You know, this is what my life was, past tense. This is what I went through, what I didn't like about it. And then third, and this is what I found that changed it. And try to say it in a minute or less, because we're not going to give them an audio book, right? So get good at that. When I walk around this event, that's what I do. You know, and what you need to do is write it out first, script it if you want, you know, script it. I don't do scripts, but I got mental scripts. Script it if you would like. Just script it out and rehearse it. Rehearse it. Now, don't just sit tired at a desk and you're reading your script. This is what my life was. It sucked. I hated it. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Stand up. Anthony's really big on physiology and how it impacts our nervous system, our emotions. I mean, that's how you get it deep in you. And then when somebody says something, you know, like, hey, so what's your story, or what are you doing? Why do you come to these events? You know, and you know, so that's it. So then I'll say, well, I come to these events because I want to have a breakthrough. You know, my story is, and then I go into my story, and then they're like, wow, that's cool, you know, and it's amazing how many people at these events never heard of network marketing. I'd say the majority. You say, how is that possible? See, too many times people are in these circles where they want to connect with networkers just at GoPro events, Ray Higdon events. It's like Christians who are trying to convert Christians into Christianity. Does that make sense? It's a waste of time. But you find people that are fresh, got no background whatsoever, they're perfect for this business. Yeah, so anyway, work on your story. It was great being able to do this live Monday morning because I won't be able to do it at 9 o'clock. I mean, they're going to be, you got 5,000 people jumping up and down, lights are going everywhere, music and all that. But it was an amazing, and I'll tell you what, he spent so much time last night on relationships, specifically in marriage or couples that have relationships, maybe they're not married yet. Anyway, most of the evening was spent on that. It was incredible, really was incredible. And Sage, his wife, was there. She's absolutely beautiful. They have an incredible marriage. I mean, just an incredible marriage, but there's reasons why. So I'll share some of that later, maybe when I get back, okay? But anyway, I love all you guys, and I got to go because I'm going to be late, but you know, they keep you till 2, 3 in the morning. You know, so I'll see you later. Everyone have a wonderful day.